Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft Disc Golf. My name's Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we are your two hot geese.
Honk. It is round one. This is our feature card and our first time seeing Northwoods Black, the brand new course out at the old Northwood Gold property. We get to watch Juliana Korver, Paige Pierce, Hailey King, and Heather Young from Team Prodigy.
Yeah, this is a very tight wooded course. I would argue harder than the gold course.
Yeah.
They carved out a lot of new tunnels to go through, so we're going to just see a lot of tight technical shots, a lot of landing zones.
I believe there's 12 new holes from the course that we saw last year at Northwood Gold. For another new hole here on hole one, it's a par 3. It's 455 feet. It is steeply downhill, but not steeply enough for it to be a par 3 for the FPO. We're going to maybe see some high scores out here. There's out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side that wraps around the back side of the green. The right side is just trees, not out of bounds, but you don't want to be there.
Juliana Korver.
It's great to see Juliana back out on tour, hitting up all the events. She's throwing a Roadrunner here. And this is definitely, if you're going to make a mistake, it's be a little on the right side because there's no OB over there. It's just the rough, which actually is very generous rough compared to the rest of the course.
Paige Pierce.
Yeah, there's a little gap right off the tee that allows you to take a straight shot. There's also a hyzer gap / maybe a turnover forehand that you can take as well. The straight shot just seems a little bit scary to me, but I think we'll see Paige choose that gap.
Yeah, that one tree right on the right side of the initial gap just feels like it pinches you off, and it feels scary to try to turn something over like Paige is doing here with her passion, and she does end up in that out of bounds area.
West Bend, Wisconsin, Hailey King.
We are teeing off early in the morning here at Ledgestone. There were some media reasonings for us to alternate our tee times from our typical afternoon premiere. So everyone's still wiping their eyes, trying to get the focus started early in the morning.
That looked like a putter from Hailey, and I think that's the smart play today is just disc down.
Heather Young.
Yeah, let the disc do the work.
Heather, our favorite lefty. She is a technician in the woods. It's going to be really fun to watch her.
Beautiful.
A good run, ladies.
As you can see, 455 feet does stretch out long, even with that elevated tee pad. We don't have anybody even finding circle 2 yet. We'll watch everyone on the card throw approaches to the green.
Yeah, that was an A3, and she'll have just a little bit of a tester putt to get warmed up, but those are a great way to start your round confidently.
So after watching Hailey and Paige, through two of the greatest distance throwers in our game, throw this hole and not get even close to the basket, I think it's no surprise here that there were no birdies on the day from the FPO field.
Paige just scrambling for her bogey here, about 20 feet.
Surprisingly, only 36% of the field with a par and 64% of the field with a bogey or worse. So this hole, maybe it was just hole one jitters, maybe it's early in the morning and we're not used to it, but it was rough on us, that's for sure.
Maybe it's just the beginning of an unending nightmare of tunnels. Not speaking about my own round, of course.
Paige for bogey, right in the center.
Yep, good to limit the damage. Anything near par is going to be great today. Anything under par is going to be unbelievably good today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one of those courses where you just kind of have to buckle up and go along for the ride because you're going to get bogeys. It is impossible not to get bogeys. You can't get upset with even a double. Everyone's going to get it. It's just a matter of what time during the course you're going to get it.
Heather able to convert for the par. Juliana looking like she had a little bit of trouble with that straddle putt. We'll have to settle for the bogey. Easy par for Hailey.
Even though we are feeling the heat of the Illinois summer, we see a lot of the women out here wearing pants. The rough is rough. I think we'll see some great footage of people throwing from deep in the bushes.
So deep. Hole 2 is a par 4. It's 580 feet. Also a new hole. You're just trying to split this gap and land in the middle. If you get far enough up this hill, it opens up your next shot down to the pin. The landing zone is about right here.
Slow-mo coverage.
And then, yeah, another little gap shot. And just another tight tunnel. There's no OB, I don't think, on this hole at all. Just the rough.
Yeah, it's definitely a threeable hole, but it has to be an absolutely perfect drive, and it is extremely challenging having to throw uphill while also trying to get that hyzer flip to carry a little bit further down. But it's definitely a hole that we can see some threes on from this feature card.
Yeah, Bushnell puts that landing zone at 325 feet uphill. Hailey should be in a good spot to open up that next shot.
That looks real nice. Surprisingly, this hole played as the most difficult hole on the course.
That is surprising.
That is shocking because we play some really hard holes here at Northwoods Black.
This is an F5. Heather flips that up nicely. She'll be a little short of the ideal landing zone, but anywhere in the center is great.
That right side guardian tree, if you do catch that, which I think is probably a pretty common tree to catch off the tee, it can be really hard to recover and even try to get a bogey from there. So maybe that's an issue a lot of people ran into, but everyone on this card is looking like they're not having any trouble finding that landing zone at the dog leg.
Yeah, I'm curious if Juliana will have a good angle as well. She's just a bit short of Hailey, so hopefully she'll have a look for her 3.
Paige finding that right side that I was telling you about, missing the guardian tree, but still getting tangled up in the jail of trees on the right-hand corner.
And she'll be pinched. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. You know, you always want to try to be a hero and, you know, maybe throw like a fairway driver and try to get down there. But realistically, just throwing putters to landing zones is the smart play. It's just hard to remember that in the moment.
Heather gets a good way around the corner, and she'll have a pretty easy up and down from there. That's, I would say, the most ideal positioning for your second shot on this hole. Juliana, the gap has opened up a lot for her. She got way down there, and she's taking the aggressive route.
Yeah, that's the same Roadrunner she threw off the tee, and it looks like she's somewhere around circle's edge.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, really great throw.
Like Erika said, Paige is pinched off here. She's eyeing up an Anheuser standstill shot.
Yep, this is a fierce, and she just throws it a little too straight. And it actually fights most of the way through, so she should be able to pitch up for her par.
Not bad. Sometimes, though, even when you're on the very edge of the rough, like we just saw Paige's disc, sometimes it's just really hard to get a stance to even throw those little pitch shots. We'll see how it finishes up.
I tried to get... It got kind of lucky, I guess. Circle 2, maybe?
Heather kind of turns one over, but it's a fast green. It gets some good skips, and it'll land inside the circle. Paige having to line up a forehand roller. You can see she's in a full squat, straddled out, throwing a roller, so even just barely inside that rough, and she's got almost nothing.
I mean, she's like less than 100 feet away and still has to throw a roller. That's tough.
Pitches up, hopefully to save her bogey.
Juliana for a 3. This would be awesome.
Straddled out wide around that little skinny tree.
4 is also great.
Yep, easy par. Especially on a hole where 70% of the field took a bogey or worse today.
Ouch.
I feel like a lot of people were just maybe taking some time to warm up, because I would not even call this in the top 5 toughest holes.
Great save from Heather. She's such a good putter. Yeah, that really surprises me that this is the hardest. Like, it's not, objectively.
No. A lot of times we like to congratulate people that get birdies, but wouldn't it be kind of funny if we did some lamenting for people who got doubles?
No.
We will not list any names.
It's horrible.
And we will move on from the hardest hole on the course today. You guys will understand why that is surprising as we head to another tunnel. It's a par 4, another par 4, 453 feet. You want to land your drive somewhere down here by this skinny little dead tree to open up your second shot. You still will not be able to see the basket until where your second shot lands. It's blind down in this little dip with a gully behind it. The gully is not out of bounds unless surrounded by water, or
I actually think it's casual.
Water is casual. We could see a 3 out here, but this is another hole where I think placement is key, and you really want to just get your first shot to the landing zone and your second shot to the other landing zone, but instead of playing aggressively.
Yeah, forehand's a really good play. I think that was an onyx from Hailey. And it's good. She's on the good side of the fairway to try to open up that second shot as much as possible, but I would never call that second shot open.
No.
Also a great lefty hole. Let's see if Heather can capitalize. Maybe just a lefty drive, actually.
Yeah. A single lefty shot.
Yeah. This is H1V2, and she's unfortunately behind that tree because that was a good shot.
Juliana opting for the Anheuser shot, looking for it to carry way down, and it does just that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She'll have a couple little trees to contend with. That's a really flippy TL.
TL is such a great mold.
Mm-hmm.
Paige also opting for the Anheuser.
Yeah, this is her soul. And it looks pretty good. Oh, almost identical to Juliana's.
Yeah, this second shot, it's one of those where there's kind of multiple fairways for you to choose from. Hailey is opting for this extreme left side fairway, which is wonderful. Obviously, she gets down to the flat where the basket is.
That was gorgeous. That's the tighter side, obviously. So well done. Mm-hmm. The right side's way more open, but hard to get there unless you're set up just right.
Heather still opts for that same gap that Hailey did, catches a little bit of low branches and gets knocked down early, but she will be able to see the basket from her lie.
Yeah, from back there, if you can see that, there's like one fat tree right on the edge of the ditch, and that's kind of what you're aiming for if you can see it.
Paige throwing her second roller of the round on hole 3, and it is just that kind of course.
Yeah. I mean, she should be in that open right side and hopefully have an easy pitch up for her par. Juliana has a little bit of a better angle, still going down that left side narrow fairway.
There's that big tree Erika was talking about. She comes in just short of it, and she'll be inside the circle.
Beautiful throw. Wow, a couple looks for birdies. That's awesome. The cicadas are out in force out here in Peoria, Illinois.
Crickets and cicadas. It is like a cacophony out there of nature music.
It's like a really nice SAT word. Pretty good floaty, kind of almost looked like a run. Here we go for a 3.
Oh, these baskets are a little heavier change than what we were putting on last week at the preserve. You definitely want to have a little bit more force going into the chains. Soft putting is not necessarily a friend of these heavy cross chains.
Paige picking up her first par of the round. Heather with a par as well.
Only 4 birdies on the day. We get to watch one. Congrats to Maria Oliva, Missy Gannon, and Sarah Hokum for finding the rare and elusive birdie on Northwood Black.
Hole 4 is another par 4 down another tunnel, 467 feet. You're trying to throw a hyzer to the right of this big tree and just land in kind of this little landing zone, this dirt area right before the bridge, and pitch across. Another one that's short and birdieable, but there's plenty of trouble to be had. I think it's smart to just down to like a mid-range or something like that. And yeah, just try to, it's really all about landing zones out here.
Yeah, you really don't want to be short and left it pinches off your next shot big time and kind of forces you to pitch out before going across where the bridge is.
That was a crystal buzz from Hailey, and she's a little short, but she'll have an open look, I think.
Yeah, she can definitely throw a flex sidearm from there, not short enough where it pinches her off entirely. You also don't really want to finish straight. It makes the second shot really hard because there's a bunch of trees that block that gap.
Heather, as a lefty, going sidearm and disking up to a D1 to get that flex is pretty well done, but she's kind of in those trees a little bit and might have a tough time getting to the pin. That's going to be a little rough from there.
Yeah, Juliana may just have to play for par from there. Gets a little grip lock action. She drops down into the rough, but she is deep in there.
Man, I think everybody said, oh my God, at least once today.
Yeah.
At least once. Pretty decent pitch out. I mean, she just didn't have much.
Yeah.
She'll be scrambling hard for that par, though.
Yeah. Par may be out of the question here.
I would never put it out of the question for Paige Pierce.
She's,
I mean, look at her go.
Yeah. Wow. What an amazing flex sidearm from Paige. It goes across the bridge, and she will give herself a look.
Juliana having to go forehand, pitch out. Smart, but unfortunately behind some fairway trees.
That is the ideal landing zone for the drive if you were doing a perfect drive, but as you can see, that is easier said than done.
I mean, Heather was pretty perfect to set up another sidearm here. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Right on the green.
Hailey using those long legs to straddle around. Full layout sidearm.
So much power from down on a knee. That's so impressive.
Yeah, I think she stopped. I don't think she rolled, and she'll be within 20 feet, I think.
That was about a 180 or 200 foot sidearm from a knee on a rope.
Juliana, a bit of a patent pending shot. It's very hard to get the disc to turn the correct amount. It's usually too much or not quite enough like we saw from Juliana, but she's just inside the circle. Ooh, looks like Paige has to split the trees here and find in trouble.
Her disc settles down just in front of those trees, which is about 28 feet from the pin.
Oh, she's just outside, actually, Juliana. Nubbed.
All over the basket. I'm confident we'll see these putts start to drop soon. After that killer sidearm. So close to birdie, but a par is always great out here at Northwoods Black. Paige saves bogey with still a tester putt. A little bit of a bumpy start.
Yep, she's feeling those teeth. They can get anybody out here, but Heather with a birdie to get under par, joining Hailey at 1 under.
Almost a quarter of the field with birdies today. What we'd expect, one of the easier holes on the course. And like we said earlier, it's mostly just about taking your bogeys where they come and moving on and staying strong.
Leaderboard check-in here. Hailey, Heather, and Macy Walker, Deanne Carey all under par. Deanne through 10. That's impressive. Like I said, anything probably under like 5 over par here is going to do pretty well.
Maria sitting at even. I would say an even par out here is right around a 975 or 980 rated golf.
Sounds about
Going to
right.
be strong. Hole 5 is another 400 plus foot par 4. Another tunnel, like we like to do out here. The landing zone on this one's a little bit different. You can throw a putter or a mid. It's a little shorter. I would say 250 feet to get to this flat right here. You do not want to go deeper. You do not want to be short because the landing zone is very small. It's a chip sidearm up to the green right here. but you do want it to push a little bit. So you can't necessarily rely on just a stable disc to get to the green. You kind of want it to carry something with a little bit more hyzer.
I think the landing zone here is probably 20 feet, 25 feet for your first shot as you enter the dog leg.
Yeah, it's very small. Heather might have a little bit of an advantage with the sidearm here, being able to protrude up that gap a little more, but
She turns her D2 a little hard, and I don't know that she'll have very much of an angle. She may have to settle for par.
Hailey trying to land something nice and soft. She gets right over the log, and that's a great spot to be.
I think just a little pinch by that one big tree with that dead limb. Pretty close, though. Like, it's such a tiny landing zone.
If you are short, it does set up for a flex sidearm, which she's pretty good at, so she may be able to still look at a bird here.
This looks like it has more speed, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
gets around the corner. It'll be hard to throw a backhand. I don't know if she'll try the sidearm. Paige disking down to a fierce here.
Paige probably looking to capitalize on a birdie on one of the shorter holes on the course after a little bit of a rough start, but she finds herself on the left side of the fairway, not the side that I would want to be on this hole.
Roller again.
I can't tell. Is she trying to cut the corner here?
It does look like it.
She is.
Hopefully that kicks onto the fairway. I have yet to see someone try to cut the corner of any hole successfully. It's just so dense.
I watched someone on my card cut the corner on this hole and take a 6. So
Oof.
you got to be really careful deciding when you're going to hero shot from the woods here or when you're going to take your medicine
I
and
feel
just
like
pitch out.
never hero shot. Is probably the smart answer.
Hailey definitely tucked a lot more than I thought, trying to take the
Wow.
small gap, and success. She'll be outside the circle, but she has a putt.
That was amazing. She had to throw through a pretty small gap. Oh, actually, Juliana does have a backhand here.
You can see how much juice she had to give it to get up that hill and get around the corner. It carries a little bit more than you think when you're standing down there in the landing zone.
It's always hard shaping a shot uphill, too. Paige Pierce.
It looks like her hero shot worked, though. She did make it all the way out to the other side, but get a little grip block action, and she'll have a long putt to save her bogey.
Oh, ouch. I think she's about the same distance away, but at least she's in the fairway now. Unfortunately, having to throw the sidearm. Let's see if she gives it a little bid.
I'm surprised that 50% of the field took a bogey or worse on this hole. It is a tough landing zone, but I thought it would be one, being only 450 feet, that a lot of the FPO wouldn't have a hard time getting a par on.
Wow.
Wow.
What a scramble for par.
Nice save.
See that one more time. Little GK replay. Beautiful.
Full committing, jump putt, right in the middle.
Yeah, I can't believe she parred that. That's astounding.
That is astounding.
And it is a short par 4, you're right, but I feel like it's one of those ones that you feel like all of us could get it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you mess up a little bit, I feel like everybody's trying to be the hero and still get the birdie, even if you're out of position a little bit.
Sadly, Hailey could not capitalize on her birdie opportunity. Juliana looking for her birdie.
Yeah, she's had a lot of those straddles, but able to get
Yes.
one to sink.
She is one of 4 birdies today. Big ups to Ellen Woodboom, Raven Klein, and I got this one today too.
Honk.
Honk.
In this game, preparation is everything. It gives you that edge to become something from nothing. Success is not by accident. Because you know, the course plays no favorites. You know what it takes to be the best. In this game, detail matters. Idio Sports.
Moving on to hole 6, our first par 5 of the day. It seems short at 701 feet, but it does this kind of U-turn almost. You have to get all the way down here, past this tree with the orange dot. We're gonna curve sharply to the left here before coming, I don't even know how many degrees backwards, 130 degrees backwards.
Yeah,
Towards the pin. It's probably 200 feet from here.
I like to call it the candy cane hole because it really U's back on itself. But I feel like this pin is almost the same distance as our tee pad, just through the woods. Like maybe we'd be better off just hero shotting it through the woods.
I saw someone try to do that and it ended so badly.
No. The landing zone on this hole is a little bit weird because it doesn't really let you set up anything for your second shot. Juliana's throwing a great shot. She hits the gap. It finishes, trickles left into the woods. It's not fun over there. It's not fun to try to get around the gap there. But
it's hard even to get it to the landing zone from there.
Yeah, but there's not really a great place to land a drive where you're like, yeah, this is going to be super easy to make my second shot. I don't know how I feel about this hole in particular. I'm a big fan of the new layout, but this one I can't really make up my mind on whether I think it's good or not.
This is a passion from Paige. She's been throwing that all day. And that looks pretty good as long as it doesn't fade too much to the left.
I was very interested to see where the more distance throwers in the game will be landing, and just short of that big tree is what I was expecting, but you can see where the next card is. I mean,
if you can get down to where they're standing on your second shot, you're doing something good.
Yeah. But from them, the basket is continuing on to the left. I mean, it literally is a horseshoe around.
That's an F5 right up the middle. And we'll see. She probably won't be able to get too much distance on this. You really don't want to push too far and be in the woods. That's a really good angle.
I think the best way to error on your second shot, if you get a good drive, is to be deep. And even if it's in the bushes deep, you'd rather be there than you would be short and left.
That is true, because you see a lot of that. It's really hard to progress forward when you're on this left side.
Yeah, they did a really good job of torturing everyone by leaving a million trees on that left side.
Wow, Hailey on the right side, it really opens up that angle.
It's unbelievable.
Did she catch a tree or did she make it through?
I can't tell, but I just can't believe her second shot was that open, where she was almost throwing a straight shot instead of like a U.
Yeah, I mean, she threw a mid so she could control that finish. And, the drivers all finished to the left. So that was a really smart play. Juliana having to pitch her third. Still a lot of work to do from there.
Still just now starting to turn back towards the direction of the basket.
Paige so far up that she can just jump putt to her ideal landing spot and actually attack for the birdie. This would be a stellar fourth shot to get up there for her par.
Puts it a little bit deep, but there's still some gaps over there to be able to get up and down to the basket.
Yeah, it was a good effort.
Heather putting something high, hoping it will hyzer around the corner. Catches a branch up high, but she will still have a straight shot to the green.
Yeah, good roll. Nice open little routine up shot.
Looks like Hailey did catch a tree on her second shot. She's just putting out to the middle of the fairway to give herself a similar look that Heather just had on her third shot.
236 feet to the pin. Side-arming that same passion, it looks like.
What? Wait, no way.
What?
Was she blind too?
Oh my god. She said, oh my god, go in. Look at that eagle.
Are you?
Look at her face.
That is unbelievable.
Wow.
I think she was blind too. I don't know if she could see the basket. That is unreal.
Just runs off the hole.
God, the angle on that, and it just glided perfectly into the chains. Unreal.
Love disc golf.
My God, I have not heard of that happening.
No,
today.
me neither.
That was so cool.
I love the little camera look she gave. So cool.
And that was with her new disc as well?
Yeah, that was the passion.
Awesome. Drive, jump, putt, eagle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was driver, putter, driver.
Hailey with a long putt to save her par.
Really clean stroke there.
Totally. After getting tangled up a little on the left side, still cleans up the rest of the hole.
What a professional.
Only 3 people today with a birdie or better. We saw Paige's, and congrats to Paige Shue and Rebecca Cox on getting some birdies. That would feel like an eagle, so I can't imagine what the actual eagle felt like.
Albatross.
No. Hole 7 is one of the shorter holes on the course, but that does not mean it's one of the easiest holes on the course. It is a par 3. It's 325 feet. But man, I feel like it stretches to infinity. There's so many trees, and not necessarily like a natural gap for a disc golf shot. You're mostly just hoping to get all the way down there and maybe snake through the trees.
I think if you have a really touchy righty hyzer flip sidearm that flattens and pushes straight and then barely fades, if you have that,
The perfect shot.
or this.
Wow. Oh,
Wow, look
that-
at Paige just getting right back on track.
That was amazing. Riding that adrenaline, but still controlling the shot down a really narrow fairway.
That was her soul, and I didn't even think you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't think a backhand was possible to get there, besides the way that Hailey's taking.
Right.
Hoping to get through that narrow gap on the right
Yeah,
side.
that's kind of the more typical shot. And about, I don't know, maybe half of those kind of get through and
Yep.
give you a putt.
Yeah, it definitely feels more of like a poke and hope situation. I aim for that gap, but I mean, I don't feel like I can guarantee getting through it. That's for sure.
This is a D2.
Love
Like a really pretty perfect flex.
Yeah, love her like getting aggressive on the right hand side of the fairway. It definitely opens up over there, but you can't see it from the pad.
Another Roadrunner. And this is kind of that typical play, trying to sneak through the right side.
Man, I like how I talked about how many trees were on this fairway, and then everyone just like
What trees?
evaporates through all of them. Welcome to the feature card.
Do it.
Yes.
Gosh, she's so good. She did like the MJ pickup before she was even done putting.
Is she in circle 2?
Look at her. Oh, let me just reach down and grab my stuff.
Oh yeah. Let me just grab it really quick.
Obviously,
Oh,
that's in.
no big deal.
Really great, too.
Juliana straddling out wide again to get around these trees. Hopefully she's got this straddle dialed. Oh, just a little short.
Heather back under par. Paige really just putting herself straight back in the mix. Going. Oh my god.
I know she just lost 2 strokes and there's another.
Yeah, gaining 3 strokes to get back to even in the last 2 holes. Or losing 3 strokes?
Or
Shaking them off?
Yeah. Dropping them on the course somewhere.
Yeah. Hailey also with a birdie to get to 2 under par. That was an awesome hole from our feature card. Hole 8 is another par 3. There's this dangerous ravine down here. That's all OB. You can see it lined by stakes on the right side, all the way down. The left side is the safer side to land on, but if you're up on that ledge on the left, there's a ton of trees. It's really difficult to go straight enough to, get all the way down to the basket. At least I think. We'll see if they think it's hard.
This is one of the newer holes on the course, and it's one that you walk up to the tee pad and you're like, what? Excuse me?
We have to do what?
This gap is pretty small. Paige makes it look big, but it is not. It is really hard to hit
she
this.
lands
Oh.
OB.
Oh, no. I forget how close that OB
It's very
pinches
close.
in.
That was such a perfect shot, too.
Yeah, she hits the gap exactly the way you want.
There is no drop zone, so she'll be able to take it right there and try to get her par. Hailey kicks left and actually probably stays in bounds, though it is
Not fun over there.
rough over there.
I know that for a fact. Kicking left, yeah, you don't get the OB stroke, but you're basically getting natural OB because you can't get, it's like really difficult to get up and down. I'm not going to say you can't, but it is very difficult to get up and down. A lot of people are forced to pitch out from over there.
Yeah, you can see there's just that wall of trees right there. It makes it really hard. Heather is a little farther up than Hailey. She might have a look.
Juliana keeping it low. That's
Ooh.
super smart.
This is a G-Star TL3. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's such a bummer. Her and Paige throwing what looks like the ideal shot.
That is bogus. Hailey, exactly where I thought she would be in the shul with nothing. She tries to get a little aggressive with it, but it looks like she stays back in the trees and uses her third shot to pitch out.
I don't quite know where that landed.
Hopefully safe. Heather also deep in the shul. With maybe a little bit more of a look, uses that lefty sidearm to her advantage, but doesn't quite get around the corner.
Yeah, she'll have a downhill, maybe a tiny gap to go through to try to get a putt. There's no OB behind the basket, I believe.
No,
it's
there
just on
is.
the right. Oh, there is.
Yep, it wraps all the way around. Hailey,
Sucks.
yeah, it does. That sucks. Hailey looks like she might have been out of bounds on her third shot. Her fourth shot, she gets up near the green.
That was a good effort. Little Anheuser run from Heather. She'll have to settle for the bogey. And this is for par.
389 feet. And there's only 2 birdies on the day.
Pure danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Big circle 2 double bogey save. Ooh, I hate that sentence. 56% of the field with a bogey or worse in under 400 feet.
Great par save from Paige.
Huge.
Unfortunate that her perfect drive wasn't perfect enough.
Juliana, for a bogey, doesn't feel terrible on this hole, strangely enough. This is one that you kind of just want to get through and just move on quickly.
Get out of there.
Just blink and get out of here. Hole 9 is a 564-foot par 4. Another hole where you're looking to try to get in this landing zone. It's a straight to hyzer shot off the tee. You don't want to be pinched left. You want to land out in the open. And it's a hole that I think we will see some 3s on from this feature card. The second shot is tough because there are a lot of guardian trees about 3/4 up the way of the fairway. But it's definitely gettable. Paige throwing a really awesome looking tee shot.
That is a stalker, and wow.
Wow.
And wow.
And wow. She'll be left with probably 200 feet, maybe a little less than that.
Maybe we'll see a second eagle. It should be a pretty routine upshot, though, for her birdie, I think.
Heather trying to flip something.
Yep, that's her F5.
Doesn't-
Not quite holding the turn enough.
But it's not bad over there. It definitely stretches out the second shot to the point where the trees feel a little bit tighter. But she will have a gap.
Yeah, this rough is a little friendlier than other parts of the course, so she hopefully can scramble for her birdie.
Juliana going to be pinched off on that left-hand side. She could find something open over there, but there are a bunch of trees in that little jaily area.
This looks a little wide. Yeah, she squares that tree, but she's in the center. Got the good kick. 325 to go for Hailey. Pretty wide open look for the most part. As wide open as it gets out here at Northwoods Black.
For real.
It's funny how gaps just like look bigger.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That I believe is her heat.
325 feet. Misses all the trees and slides up just under the pin.
Disc golf is easy.
Heather forced to flex something. Likely won't be able to get the distance. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to keep my mouth
Yeah,
shut.
just shh.
On commentary, I'm going to just quit.
Some people might like that.
That was a really great second shot from Heather.
Yeah, Heather really showing the strength of her sidearm. Just so technical. Also, it seems like she's gained some distance with it lately.
Definitely.
And just shredding these woods. Paige only 215 feet to go. Hangs it a little right, but I think she's got it just fine.
Eagle.
Bounce in. That was well done from Paige. Yeah, what a bounce back after a bit of a rough start from her.
After Juliana gets caught in jail, she is looking to just get up and down, give herself a putt to save the par. Forced to throw a sidearm. We don't see her throw sidearms very often, so there was not a lot of options.
And this is a pretty tight window. It looks like, yeah, through the branches there. Great effort. Parked. Yeah, Juliana finding a little bit of trouble on this last half of the front nine. Heather
Great birdie.
just finding under par over and over, showing us how good she is.
It was 25% of the field with birdie
Paige,
on this hole.
oh, nice. Finding herself under par for the first time this tournament. Really amazing stuff from Paige.
Great birdie from Hailey as well. Nice bounce back after that.
Yeah. 3 of our feature card, 1 under after the front 9. Juliana really not too far behind here. 4 over.
And there's still some birdies left on the back. There's still room to improve.
God, look at that nice blue 3.
Lots of different colors on the leaderboard. And that's just part of the game out here. You really do just have to roll through those bogeys and know that everyone's taking them. You're not the only one. Mentally, you just got to be really strong out here. Really, really strong.
Just iron tough.
Let's check in the leaderboard. We can see Hailey, Paige, Heather at the top of the leaderboard. Not surprised with 1 under par. Callie McMorrin also hanging out through 12 holes. We can see a few more people on even and +1. And I mean, that feels great.
Yeah.
That feels great through this far into the course. Especially where every hole you can just explode. Who knows?
Who knows?
Thank you guys for hanging out with us on the front 9 at Northwoods Black. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
We are the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk, and thank you to GK Pro for inviting us back in the booth. We'll see you on the back.